Welcome to this meditation. Hopefully you're in your quiet space, somewhere where you can relax and experience your own inner journey. Take a moment to settle in your chair and relax. Notice any sense of discomfort, either in your body or your mind, and then just let those feelings drift away. Let your breathing slow and deepen. Come to quietness within. May I invite you to see yourself walking through a wood. As you wander along, breathe in the fresh, mossy air. And notice the light as it dapples through the leaves of the trees as you wander along. Just a little further on the path, you notice something lying at the foot of an old, gnarled oak tree. Reaching the tree, you bend down to pick up what appears to be a roll of paper. Curious, you unfold what you now see to be a parchment of some sort, a scroll, and inscribed on it you recognize these words from a psalm. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you your heart's desires. In this quiet beauty surrounding you, reflect on these words. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you your heart's desires. In his little gem of a book called The Personal Vocation, the Jesuit priest Herbert Alfonso shares an incident to illustrate this theme. He recalls a conversation with his friend and fellow Jesuit who had shared his concern with Alfonso that he had not been praying for many years and had become obsessed with what he saw as a great negligence in prayer. Herbert asked him where in his life he felt spontaneously close to God, when his heart lifted, and when he felt in touch with, in union with God. He goes on to say this: I had hardly framed the question when he said, of course, whenever I look back at my past life and see how good God has been to me, I feel immediately close to God, in touch with God, united with him. Seeing that he had come alive, that he was talking with deep feeling, a gleam in his eyes, I broke in. The goodness of God seems to mean a lot to you, the way you're speaking. Have you never prayed on the goodness of God? Never, he returned. And taken aback by my question, he got on the defensive and spouted out aggressively, besides, how long do you think I can pray on the goodness of God? Giving me to understand that he would get tired of it. I had listened very carefully to him, so I came in very quietly with, "You just told me you've never tried it. How about trying it before making a judgment that you will get tired of it?" "Fair enough," he said, and with that he left my room. Herbert goes on to relate that his friend returned 3 weeks later, gushing with his discovery that he could pray always on the goodness of God. However, a little stung by his friend's previous defensiveness, Herbert confesses he reacted cynically in saying, "Well, it's only 3 weeks. Perhaps if you tried a little longer, you might get tired of it." His friend became suddenly deflated and slunk out of the room. Herbert continues, "In a trice, I woke up to what had happened and exclaimed to myself, 'Oh my God, I have lost him because of my smart cynicism.' But if I was not good that day, God is good. Against all my expectations, he did come back to me a full 4.5 months later. This time he did not storm into my room, he almost tiptoed into it and said emphatically, in a quiet whisper, 'But really, Herbie, I can pray always on the goodness of God.' By now, I had hopefully learned my lesson, so at once I invited him. 'Sit you down, please, Father.' And he began to share in touching depth all that the goodness of God had come to mean for him. Not merely the secret of his prayer, but the secret of his mission as well, of all his relationships within and outside his Jesuit community, indeed, of his relaxation and recreation. As he finished sharing, I was so deeply touched that I said very spontaneously, 'My dear friend, you have discerned your personal vocation, the goodness of God.' Take a moment to notice how you respond to Herbert's story. How did you feel as you listened to the experience of Herbert's Jesuit friend? What if Herbert were to ask you the same question he put to his friend? Listen again. He says, 'Where in your life do you feel spontaneously close to God?' When does your heart lift? And when do you feel in touch with and in union with God? How do you respond? How might the way you answer relate to your sense of personal vocation? Could you find a phrase, or even just one word, which describes your personal vocation at this season of your life? I wonder, how would it be to spend time in God's presence, praying with this, just having a conversation about your phrase, your few words that might describe your personal vocation. And finally, how might all this relate to the words of the psalm? Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you your heart's desires. And now, when you're ready, retrace your steps through the wood and come back to where you now sit. Take a few moments to think back through this meditation. What stands out for you? Is there one thing perhaps you'd like to take with you? As we draw to a close, listen to this blessing from Tess Ward and make it your own. May the blessing of God be upon my head with warm, well done. I delight in you. As I continue on my quest, may I not be haunted by my unlived life, but blessed by you, the goodness of other people, and your world that takes my breath away and shows me my place in the universe. May the blessing of God be upon my head with warm, well done. I delight in you. As I continue on my quest, may I not be haunted by my unlived life, but blessed by you, the goodness of other people, and your world that takes my breath away and shows me my place in the universe. The words about taking delight are from Psalm 34. And Tess Ward's blessing is from her book, The Celtic Wheel of the Year. Go well. Bye for now.